Yeah, it was a good opportunity over at Pacific University to get a multi-in. It's kind of set everything up for the conference meet. Really, the big piece was just to get out and get some marks in to make sure we're qualified and we get kind of that out of the way. And anything we could get on top of that was going to be even better. And I mean, to get a provisional mark out of both Gino and Chelsea was huge. I mean, Chelsea was actually a lifetime PR, just I think barely, but still lifetime PR. And puts her, I think, in the top 10 in the country, puts her, I think, second in the conference, and so, which was great. Gino had some really good events. He had some spots where, it wasn't necessarily the greatest event for him, but I think all in all, he had a really good meet, and so, to get 2 provisional marks out of that on a spring break weekend, essentially, I think was really good. Yeah, like you said, coming off of spring break, we had the weekend off. It'll be kind of interesting as we all kind of come back and get into things. Heading into Western Oregon this weekend on Friday. This will be kind of the first opportunity where we're going to put pretty much everybody out. Everything leading up till now has kind of been the pieces here, the pieces there, coming off the indoor season. And this should be the first get at kind of seeing where we're at, and just building off of what we've already done, obviously. But it'll be fun to get a huge group of people down there competing. Hopefully we get some decent weather, but I think all in all, this is kind of the weekend for us right now where this should kind of be our launching point for the rest of the season. No, I think obviously being a twilight, I think it starts a little bit later. Some of the throwing events are earlier just because they don't have lights out in the field events, so they got to kind of get those done before sunset, so that's always an interesting challenge, but it's a great spot for the throwing events, and so we typically see some really good marks come out of this meet, so that part should be good. Yeah, and then the rest of the meet, it starts kind of right as the lights are coming on, and so I think it's a unique opportunity you don't get all the time, where you go on a Friday versus a Saturday for us, and then to be able to get under the lights for some of those later races as it starts to cool down. Hopefully it's not pouring down rain on us, but yeah, it should be fun. I think the only unique challenges sometimes come in is you have to plan your day a little bit differently. I mean, if you're eating breakfast at 8 in the morning to get ready for an 11 o'clock race, now all of a sudden you're hanging out all day, or you're even going to classes all day on a Friday before you're heading off to the meet in the evening. And so it just creates a little bit of some unique challenges, nothing that can't be managed. And I think also it helps, it's another opportunity to kind of get ready for a conference meet. The conference 10Ks at 8 o'clock at night on a Friday night. And so, it'll be a good opportunity to kind of set the table for that. And being at Western Oregon, that's where the conference meets at. So, I mean, this is a reason, one of the big reasons why we go down there is now these guys are going to be able to get in those rings for the throws. They're going to be able to get on the runway, get on the track. They're going to be able to kind of see what the conference atmosphere is going to kind of look like. I mean, obviously we've got a handful that have, qualified for the conference meet. It's kind of an interesting way that they actually fill the fields for the conference meet, but, kind of leading from here, like I said earlier, this meet this weekend is really the first opportunity for us to put the vast majority, if not pretty much all of our team on the track and competing at the same time. So it should be really fun. And so this is kind of the piece for me, or the team that we look at as this is kind of our launching point of like, okay, here's where we're at. This is what we're doing. Now we've got, 4 to 6 weeks, whatever it is, to kind of get ourselves ready for that conference championship. And obviously, ultimately for that group that's moving on after that, ready for that national meet. And so it is coming up quick, but we like to try and take our time a little bit and kind of make sure we're doing things right so that we're ready to go when it really matters.